yeah, do some smaller shows and build some credibility and build that confidence within yourself and other people that you're capable of pulling it off. Running your own business and taking these risks, and it's pretty scary. I would say all this stuff is pretty scary. Showing up to a thing and you have $100,000 on the line and thousands of people are showing up.
Welcome to the Iron Mind Podcast. I'm Josh Brumley, lawyer, author, professor, and now podcast host. Join me as I dive into conversations with entrepreneurs, artists, business owners, and other leaders shaping the world. This is the Iron Mind Podcast.
Nolan, welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thank you, bro. Thanks for having me.
So for people who don't know who you are, Nolan Walsh, owner of Red West Concerts, tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got to be the man for all these shows.
Nolan Walsh, Nolan Red on the internet. I'm a concert promoter. That means I throw shows, if you don't know. And I live in Seattle. I'm from Olympia. Yep.
Do you claim Olympia or do you claim Seattle?
Ooh, depends. If I'm out of the state, I'd probably say Seattle. But around here, people get mad if you claim Seattle and you're not from Seattle proper. I feel like.
Do people in Olympia get mad if you drink anything besides Olympia beer?
It got like bought up by one of the bigger like beer companies, and now nobody cares.
No.
Yeah, there's no loyalty anymore.
What's the best pizza shop in Olympia?
Oh, old school pizza easily. Olympia people, fuck Vic's. It's old school pizza. Yeah.
That's awesome because Vic's Pizza is actually in the same parking lot as the Little Caesars that I own.
Oh, no way.
So I'm also on my fuck Vic's, but for a different reason. Totally.
Can I swear on here? Is that okay?
What?
Can I swear on here?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
All right. Well, so you've hosted like over 150 events.
Yeah, I would say that's about right at this point. Yeah.
What are some of the bigger acts that people might have heard of?
Yeah, probably the biggest ones: Elite Choppa, Trippie Redd, OGZ and Phoenix Flexin, Shoreline Mafia. I've done a bunch with Shorty. Those are some of the bigger names. Yeah.
Do you know how any of those rappers came up with their names?
I've never asked. I have a partner who called Elite Choppa by his like birth name, and they almost
government name?
Yeah, they almost fought. So.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So I don't ever question it.
Names for a reason, man. You can't be full government naming people out here.
Totally. Yeah, I also I don't want to, sometimes you don't even want to know, Trippie Redd, that could be a lot of things, I'd rather claim ignorance.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, so you started this company?
Yes, sir. Yep. It's really just me. It's just
hey, man, don't say just. That's a big deal. If it's just you and you've done over 150 events, and you've done it with all these huge rappers, that's a big accomplishment.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have partners on some of these shows, like Trippie Redd and Elite Choppa. I did with Brett Logsdon Party. Shout out Brett Logsdon. So yeah, it's not always just me, but
still, like you're the brains behind this company.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, how did you start it? What was the moment that you were like, I love going to shows, I want to do my own? What made you DIY?
My high school had dances after every football game, and people were like grinding, and then they found that wasn't allowed.
That's illegal.
No grinding, and they found like a condom on the ground and then shut it down. So like the kids started doing the dances after the football games, which inevitably was like way crazier, yeah.
Because there's like no school influence, and now no one's wearing condoms.
Yeah, everyone's just raw dogging.
Everybody's leaving those dances pregnant. It's crazy. Pitbull in the corner, she pregnant.
Yeah,
pregnant.
So yeah, like there was kind of a lineage of guys who were throwing the dances, and it got handed to me and like one of my best friends, and we were working at McDonald's, and we started doing the dances, and we were making
At the McDonald's or?
no,
That'd be
sir.
sick.
No, it was at a Grange, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a lot of punk shows at a Grange.
Okay. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah. It's like a Lions Club.
Yeah.
Type of
In
thing.
Olympia, there's a Grange.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one you're talking about. Oh,
Which do you know which Grange?
I think there's only the one, right? It's called the Grange. It's like
There's
the one.
It's probably Blacklight Grange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And so we were making more money doing the dances than working at McDonald's like that, and I was like, this is
Way more fun.
the shit. Yeah.
Yeah. People are just paying me to come party with me.
Pretty much. Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Did you ever have any bad things happen at the Granges?
No, nothing crazy. There's like kids drinking in the parking lot. One kid got like cuffed for drinking in the parking lot. That was some big drama, some exciting stuff at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing disastrous. It was mostly we really hoarded out. We like invited kids from every school and made them a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So it got a little maybe sketchier than like a
school.
homecoming or something. But
Do you think in
nothing
retrospect, if you were like a school official, knowing what you know now about what happens when the school shuts down their school events because they got too wild, would you have encouraged the school to keep the events going and just try to monitor them closer or something?
Well, for my self-interest, I'm glad they got rid of it.
Like, if you have to argue the alternative, if you're working for the school, you're a parent, something like that, like,
if you wanted to cut down on like underage drinking and high schoolers having sex, then certainly they should have kept it under their
purview.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you think more people were having sex because the school shut it down?
Undoubtedly.
Wild.
For sure.
Wild. Did
For sure.
anyone name their kids after you for throwing the party?
They're actually from a Brett Logsdon party. That's like my partner on some of these shows. There is a child.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we officially know that there's a child. I don't know their name. I should.
Oh, man.
We know that there was a baby made.
Well, I guess Mazel Tov.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing? I don't know. Well, what's one maybe like a weird or a funny thing that's happened at a show? Any crazy like riders with any of these? For those of you who don't know, a rider is just the contract that a musician gives in advance of performance that says you have to have like blue M&Ms in a bowl on my green room desk, stuff like that.
Yeah, I've told this before, but the craziest rider item I've seen, Trippy Red had a bowl of red M&Ms. Yep, which we didn't do.
Oh, man. Do you know why they say stuff like M&Ms?
Just sitting there trying to get you to pay attention to the contract,
Yeah.
which I 100% am, but
I just didn't want to
it's a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't give a fuck.
I don't remember who the like lore stories about, like some older famous band that was doing like arena shows, but basically they said we want a bowl of all one color M&Ms, and then when they would go into the green room and they'd see that there was M&Ms but they weren't all colored, they'd immediately go check the stage because they'd be worried that pyrotechnics weren't right, or the stage wasn't right, and they were worried that someone was going to die. So that was like an indicator that they were cutting corners.
Totally.
But not you.
No.
That's just the lore.
Red West Concerts is reading the rider and reading the contract over and over.
Fucking care about what color M&Ms.
If you give me some bullshit, it better be a good price. If I'm gonna do it.
If I'm gonna pick all the M&Ms.
Yeah, it'll be literally me picking M&Ms out, and it'd be better if I focused on every like other things for everyone. Yeah, it would be better if I focused on other shit for sure.
Anything else weird or funny? Any other good stories?
Yeah, the craziest thing for sure that's happened. One of the like bigger rappers I've done had a foursome in the car we provided.
Like sexual intercourse?
Correct.
Oh
with
God,
multiple parties. With multiple parties.
Illegal, dude.
The Olympia High School parent association would not approve. He was having sexual intercourse with multiple women in a Escalade, and he wiped his seed off on the driver's jacket, and that created some drama. His hotel was about an hour away from the venue.
And the driver didn't want to drive him there after some situation like that.
It was a conversation for sure.
Was the driver wearing the jacket when this happened? Or
No,
the driver
no.
was just like, okay.
No.
He wasn't like in the car with like the visor up and then they pull the visor down.
No.
Hand comes out or anything.
That would be truly insane.
I feel like all of that is insane, but I'm just a guy.
He's a demon regardless, but
yeah, that's a terrible thing to do to someone's jacket.
The women also were, my buddy was like smoking with them, and they had never met before at all. One of the boys had gotten their like numbers from the crowd, and he just FaceTimed them. They all did it in the car. I'm pretty insane.
Well, that's all crazy. I've thrown a lot of shows, never had anything crazy like that happen that I'm aware of, but so props to you for still going after crazy shit like that. What about challenges for doing events? Obviously, like money for these contracts is a huge
Sure.
barrier to entry for a lot of people who are like, man, I want to throw my own show and I want to have Trippie Redd come to my town, but like paying a contract price, and usually it's like 50% deposit because they don't even want to have these conversations.
For a one-off kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah. So what's another type of challenge besides just the money and coming up with the funds? Sometimes people have investors and stuff like that, but what's another thing that people who are listening, interested in doing like their own events, what would you give them as advice for challenges you faced?
Yeah, do some smaller shows and build some credibility and build that confidence within yourself and other people that you're capable of pulling it off. Yeah, once you have done, maybe, I don't know, if you've done 10 shows, you could probably do a big show. The money is one thing. People are in different situations. I would say have all the money to pay for the entire show. Do not count on the ticket revenue paying it. Make sure you have 100% of the money before you attempt it. I mean, once you build some credibility, they will give you the show if you have the money.
What's the worst show that you've had to come out of pocket? How much money have you had to spend out of your pocket to have an event?
Like lost money, yeah, probably. I won't say the artist.
Yeah, you don't have to tell us the artist. The artist will be like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
I came out of pocket $5,000 or $6,000 on one. That sucked.
That's enough to feel like shit.
Yeah, that.
Did you have to borrow it from anyone, or you just had it in cash and you're like, damn it, this sucks, but there goes my savings?
No, yeah, I didn't have to. I've
call your mom and be like, Mom, listen, Trippie Redd's here. He is not letting me leave the venue unless I give him $6,000.
I'm sure many people have run into that situation, but no. I have a degree in mechanical engineering, and I did that full time for a little bit, and so I saved up a bunch of money to kick this off.
So that's why you're such a good promoter, because mechanical engineering.
Yeah, those blend perfectly. Those blend absolutely perfectly.
Yeah. I know a lot of actual promoters that were also.
I'm sure, yeah.
It's like a weird pipeline that they have. Have you ever been on tour with anyone or done shows like on the road where you're like not just Seattle or Olympia guy? Yeah. Most of my shows are in Oregon. Even though I live here.
What the hell? This is a Washington podcast. Get out.
Yeah, get the fuck out. Yeah. I've done a couple little tours. I don't know if you know who Swayze is, but we did me and my buddy did the whole tour. And that's fun traveling on the road. That was probably like 8 days or something of shows straight.
Were you in a stinky van, like a punk van that everyone's
No, not the Econoline van type of thing.
We just have a lot different experience with the types of shows that we've
shit. Yeah, no, we stayed in hotels and
my tour
Suburban or something.
Yeah. My touring life was like Taco Bell, taking turns driving, 4 people sleeping, but like on top of the music equipment that was in the back of the
Oh god, that's honestly fucking cool.
It was fun, but it was also terrible. Like you didn't sleep for like 3 days because like you were helping drive, and the person that was driving when you were able to sleep was just driving like a fucking maniac.
Totally.
through a mountain pass that no one had ever been on before, and they're like, "Oh shit, I didn't know that curve was so sharp." Sorry, guys.
right.
Just terrible. Lots of car accidents in
Multiple car accidents.
not in my band, but just like in that world. It's a very common.
I was gonna say, thank God we have the injury lawyer.
Yeah. No,
How old
hopefully-
were you at the time?
when I was touring? It was between like 21 and 28, something like that.
Dude, that's so fun though.
It was really fun.
That's very
Yeah.
cool.
It seems like a whole lifetime ago, but I still see my friends out there doing it and love them for it, and it's just a different world now that I'm the law guy.
right.
But
I feel like you live more life doing that than most people do.
absolutely,
You have a lot of
seeing a lot of these small towns and learning that Idaho is where the leader of the Ku Klux Klan lives.
yeah, they've
and-
got a nice white supremacist
Yeah.
population
If
there.
you're into that, Idaho's your spot. If you're
Yeah.
not, probably just avoid Idaho. For me, Idaho wasn't the spot.
Yeah, probably me neither, but yeah.
It just didn't seem like a fun place to kick it. But we definitely did a couple shows there, and then we're like, you know what? Let's just skip Idaho. It doesn't seem like a good place to. We'll do more shows in Oregon.
Totally.
So, what about a lesson that you wish you knew when you were starting out doing shows?
It took longer to kind of build the credibility and get asked to do stuff than I thought. So yeah, it's gonna take some time if you're starting out in this and thinking you're gonna be rich and famous real quick.
Yeah.
It certainly took a long time before like agents and artists that were worth working with were reaching out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now
but some
your inbox
patience.
is like people are reaching out to you to say, "Hey, can I help? Can you do?"
Yeah,
this
now
show in
now I
Seattle?"
start getting thrown stuff that's good.
Yeah.
And probably barely compared to bigger promoters, but yeah, now I'm starting to actually get good stuff thrown at me, which
When
is
you
so
have-
sick.
When you have good stuff thrown at you, what's the like price tag? Don't tell us the artist, but just like some of the price tags that you're like, "Whoa, I really wish I could do this show, but damn, $1 million up front is like crazy." Anything crazy like that?
There's no price I've been thrown that I couldn't come up with.
Okay, baller.
No, well, not through
like,
me
"I just had
necessarily.
it."
Well,
Mom, NLE Chop is
yeah,
here.
my dad's is so rich. Every show's a loss. I'm just having fun. No, that I have a pretty big partner in Utah.
Like physically big or like financially? He's just loaded.
He's not very tall,
Oh, damn.
but they do 600 shows a year. So, in a couple of major festivals. So it's more about what the deal, the value, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
total package with it's
just well to pay off.
or 3 artists and all that.
Yeah. The literal price tag at this point probably doesn't matter as much as like how good of a deal is it. Yeah. If I got I'm trying to think of it. If Post Malone told me they would do a show for $300,000, I don't have $300,000 in my bank account, but I would for sure be able to do it.
Yeah.
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 But you wouldn't be banking on the ticket sales. You'd say, "I know this is going to make us money, but we have to have the money up front
Yeah.
to make sure that if I lose it."
Yeah.
What happens if on a show like that, and obviously it will never happen because you're just like the best promoter, it's the mechanical engineer in you.
yeah. Best promoter in the world. Right here.
Yeah, no other promoter, unmatched. If you threw a show like that, $300,000, and your partner paid it out, like, do you just like go do dishes for him for a long time, or like, how do you make up for a loss like that with a partner? Does he just break your legs?
Yeah. There's
That's
like
illegal. He
the
can't.
kneecaps. Yeah, I'll call you.
Yeah, cannot do that.
I mean, never had a major. You can cut a deal. I think in the music industry, you can cut any deal. I mean, there's no set playbook or rule book. So let's say maybe we'd split it. One third.
Post Malone shows up to the Tacoma Dome. There's 5 people there. He's like,
Yeah, we
"Damn."
lose $300. Yeah, it just depends on the deal you cut. Maybe they paid for all of it. I get 10% for lining it up. Maybe we split it half and half, and I have to pay half out of pocket. Maybe we split it, 1/4, 3/4, and I have to do the day of show stuff and run it. You could break it up
So
in all ways.
So you're talking
Normally I
about
split it
you
half
your
and half, though.
partner,
Yeah.
and your partner
Yeah.
would split that loss. But like you'd come up with that share for you. Your partner would come up with that share for you. But then they wouldn't be like, hey man, you owe me this share because I trusted you to put on the show. They'd just say, damn, I took it on the chin. We'll
No,
make it
they
up
probably
on
want
this."
me to pay.
Yeah.
For
You'd
sure.
like owe them. So
For
like,
sure.
what do you do in that situation? If
You
there's-
pay out of pocket. I mean, if you lose, you pay out of pocket. Yeah.
So people need to just be prepared for a worst case scenario.
You
before
will
they-
lose money at some point, undoubtedly.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At the very small scale, like if you have no like national act, no famous person showing up, and you sell like a dance or a rave or something, and they're $5-10 tickets, and you triple your money, and you're like, wow, this is the best. That is not how it works at a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people should just continue to do local events if that's where they're
If
happy.
you can, if you can, sure. Some of these raves are making a lot of money without,
Are you going to dabble in raves?
I do dabble at raves sometimes. I work with Cult Fest sometimes, if you've heard of them.
You know what I heard? People actually do drugs at raves. Did you know?
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about,
Totally illegal.
and I don't know that.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully people.
And I
don't talk
continue to not know that.
about it. Yeah. Good. Good. Because we wouldn't want anyone to get in trouble.
Insurance is expensive, so
Oh man, event insurance, crazy.
It's-
You know how many promoters I know who lie on the paperwork for event insurance to be like, yeah, it's like an acoustic one-man band that's just
Yeah.
gonna play.
everyone
just gonna be
except Red West
seated.
concerts.
Yeah, no, you would never do that. But if a person gets hurt at a concert and you didn't follow the insurance company's like requirements,
Right.
they're just not going to
They're not
cover
gonna
it. So
cover
you
it.
might as well not even buy the insurance if you're going to lie about it, unless someone's like forcing you to prove that you have insurance. But even venues that are forcing people to buy this insurance, if the promoter is just saying, yes, this is a acoustic concert and
Right.
it's going to have
Yep.
40 people there and it's some punk band and everyone's stage diving off the speakers and doing
Right.
crazy shit, then that's not going to be covered.
No, I've seen that before. It's very hard to get coverage for like a hip hop show or something.
Yeah, because
I have one
people are so
broker.
worried about getting shot as far as the insurance industry. There's just been so many terrible things that happen that now no one wants to insure those events.
Shout out Travis Scott.
Oh yeah, that was a whole other.
He
thing.
fucked I had like 3 brokers that could get me coverage for most things. I have one after Travis Scott.
Oh man,
Yeah.
You want to sue Travis Scott?
But if you think there's a
Listen,
is there a precedent for that? Because I'm
Listen,
down to partner.
here's the
up on
thing
this.
about America, man. You can sue anyone for anything. The question is, will you win? And
right.
You don't even need to win. You just need to be annoying enough for them to give you money to go away. So that's how the world works in the law. You don't have to know what you're doing. You just have to file some paperwork.
I'm ready if you are.
Yeah.
I'm ready if
Travis
you
Scott, we're coming for you.
are.
We're gonna buy the Grange afterward with all the money we made.
let's go.
It's gonna be sick.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, the name of the podcast is Iron Mind. Iron Mind is the name of a song from an old punk band most people have never even fucking heard of. But
Sure.
what does having an iron mind mean to you?
Running your own business and taking these risks and it's pretty scary. I would say all this stuff is pretty scary. Showing up to a thing and you have $100,000 on the line and thousands of people are showing up and someone could get hurt, and, I could get embarrassed, or even the artist could be mean to me, socially, there's just all kinds of.
So many stories are floating through my head while you're talking about this events that I've done. Shout out! It's Mother's Day weekend right now. I'm recording this.
Yeah.
Mother's Day is tomorrow. My mom. Shout out to my mom. She's been a writer from day one. Anything I've ever wanted to do. She's never had any money, but she's like, you know what? Whatever you need to do, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna help out. You're running a venue. I'll clean the bathrooms after.
That's beautiful.
Like just a fucking writer. No money, but any labor that I ever need help with, she's fucking there.
Hell yeah.
And I ran a live music space in Tacoma, a lot of different ones, but there was this band that after law school, my band reunited And I threw this big event, and one of my favorite bands, Comeback Kid, came to, they were on tour, and we booked a show for my birthday, but it was also like the first birthday since I'd been back from law school. My band reunited for the show.
Nice.
My friend's band played. It was this huge event, and my mom was like, I'll be there. I didn't really invite her. She just is like always there, you know. But I was like, yeah, cool, Mom. Come watch my band. That's fucking sick. So my family's all there, and we have a green room at the venue that we used to use. And my mom was like, hey, we need ones at the front. Can you grab some money for me to run to the bank and I'll go cash it out and get some more ones? And I was like, yeah, we have to walk through the green room to get to the office. Please, for the love of God, don't speak to this band that I've been like listening to since I was like 14 years old. And I'm playing a show.
Embarrass you so bad.
And I swear to God, as soon as we opened the door to the green room, she was like, hey, everyone, I'm Josh's mom. Hi. And I was like, oh, it's just cringing. And I don't know if she even fucking remembers that, but I think about it all the time.
Totally.
The flyer for that show was like a work of art, and every time I look at the flyer now, I'm like, God, my mom, she just...
Yeah,
I don't think the band remembers. Thank God. I've seen that band like 10 more times since then, and I just don't talk to them now. I'm like, I don't want them to remember. But yeah, bands can be mean to you. They weren't mean to me. They just laughed, and I was just uncomfortable, and I was like, all right, guys, see you later. But yeah, bands can be fucking rude. You can have like physical altercations with promoters where they just are like, I'm not paying you.
For sure.
Yeah, you got to be ready for all that shit, man. So having an iron mind means like overcoming the fear of doing these things and just fucking doing them.
I get very scared, and I'm a mechanical engineer by training. The social dynamics are insane. Even doing this, like on the podcast, meeting you right away, talking. Yeah, it's like, that's
I'm
like
an intimidating guy.
Yeah, no, you're cool, man. I mean,
tattoos.
Yeah, the tattoos are good, but I mean, for me, it's probably mostly the social stuff. Yeah. If someone says they're not going to pay you, or you have to say you're not going to pay them to their face, and it's $5,000 or $10,000, that is an insane,
stressful conversation.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, that's worse than a breakup, and it's just like part of the
industry.
Yeah, it's just part of what you do.
And I think everyone knows when that's going to happen, because there's like 5 people in a crowd, and you know that the writer is like $10,000 and no one came to the show. So everyone's just waiting for someone to start this conversation of like, so you're still paying us.
Right. Totally.
Like, everyone's just walking on eggshells, and you're like making calls like, can anyone get the fuck down here and come to this event? So at least when they perform, it's not 5 fucking people. Like,
that's happening.
I'll let everyone in for free at this point, just so that there's like less of an embarrassment factor for this.
Totally. And you're stressed out, and you're trying to tell people it's a good time.
Yeah. You're like, oh yeah, please keep coming to my events. I promise the other ones are cool.
Dude, that's funny about your mom. My mom came to the Shorty show I just had at Crystal Ballroom in Portland.
Is she a big fan?
No, not necessarily, but she's listened to it. She actually likes hip hop, which is funny.
That's cool.
But she came, and I'm like, Mom, like, just don't do. She's just like a little too friendly. I'm like, just don't do too much.
Like wants to like go hang out with the rappers in an Escalade, or like that kind of friendly?
Not in the Escalade.
Oh, okay. I just friendly, bro. I'm trying to elaborate.
No, she's just a little too social, baby. And she said she wanted. I said, you want to pay for the green room?
She's like trying to say hi to everyone.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Exactly.
God, stop.
I said, do you want anything for like I had like an office there, and I'm like, do you want anything, like some food or like a drink or something? Like, could you get me a beer? I'm like, yeah, there's no fridge in there. I put it in Shorty's green room, and I tell her the beer's in there, but wait, I'll grab it at some point. And she walked right in.
Shorty's
everyone. Yeah, she's like 60. Yeah, she's going through their fridge.
I'm just here for a beer. And they're like, who the fuck is this lady?
She said they're
like, come hang out with us.
That was not the reaction.
Damn.
So I come back, she has the beer. I'm like, oh no, what'd you do?
No, my God. Moms.
Yeah. So, but it's all right. She supports me. She undyingly believes.
Dude, that's all you need, right? Yeah. Just a solid rider of a mom in your corner. Embarrassment aside.
For
what
sure.
else do you need?
For sure.
If that's the cost of having a mom that's like go do anything you want and I'll support it, then you know what? That's worth it.
Facts. Yeah, for sure.
All right. In closing, what's one piece of advice that you'd give to any business person, entrepreneur, promoter, anyone that's just like scared to take the risk to do that thing?
Yeah, you're just gonna have to put your dick on the table and make it happen. It is scary.
What if you don't have a dick?
Put your pussy on the table. Yeah, you are just gonna have to jump off the cliff. More pragmatic advice would probably be set some money aside for taxes.
Oh, dude.
This is the first year that I like made some money. And
wait, you report your income? Because if you don't, that's illegal.
Dumb promoter mistake. Don't report your income. No, I'm kidding.
Can rappers report all their cash income?
I know multiple that owe the IRS unthinkable.
What are their names?
Yeah. Yeah, I personally knows what it was. It's like almost $1 million to the IRS.
Dude. All right.
So set some money aside for your taxes.
Set some money aside for taxes. Just be confident. Put your genitals on the table.
Yes.
Non-binary, whatever you got, just lay it on the table. And be confident in all that you do.
Yeah, I think that is, try to be confident.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for having me. This is great.